Hi, dear friends. I hope you are doing well. So I'm so happy. I'm so excited about this tag. Thank you, Kelly Bear, for doing it. And thank you for all those who just put their videos out. I'm learning so much from you. I am feeling so much filled with joy at the fact of seeing all these decks, all these books, all these spreads. It's amazing. Just taking some notes about some very interesting spreads and the advices. Anyway, so it's a really great tag, and I'm gonna share with you my kind of discoveries through this tag, but I want to specify that I'm doing it in different parts because as I was preparing it, I couldn't stop receiving all these inspirations about, theme, doing this tag by theme, and I wrote so many ideas. So I'm gonna start with the first theme today, and I'm gonna kind of change it and shape shift it because Kelly Bear gave us this, this kind of liberty and freedom to do it. So today I'm going to share with you about the theme that is very dear to my heart, which is roses. So the first question or the first prompt is, what are the 5 tarot decks and oracle decks around, that you really love, depending, if you are a beginner or you have a special theme. I saw so many of you choosing, for example, cats theme, the elements theme. Anyway, it was very interesting to watch all of this. So I'm going to start with the roses. And of course, the first one to show you is this oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell, which I very much love. And so basically, I'm going to share with you also a little bit about the teachings of roses, because this tag is also about sharing our passion and why we are passionate about it. So basically, I have been introduced to roses since my birth. I was born in a town called the City of Roses, and they have been kind of my spirit allies and companions for many years, until I, discovered that there is a temple of roses while I was guiding people and my students through a meditation. So we all connected to the temple at the same time, and it was quite magical. So I started receiving specific codes and teachings about what is a rose and what is to be a rose in this world. What are their teachings? And I was so amazed to find, this oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell translating those principles in an oracle deck. It's, the medicine of roses is very much about principles and the spirituality of how to live in the world. And the second deck that is very much connected to this for me is the Lioness Oracle Tarot deck. Also has this healing energy in it, which is very specific to roses. And so this deck, every time I open it, it feels kind of as if you have entered a shop, a roses shop or a flowers shop, and you are smelling all these flowers, and you are kind of transported into a magical world. And that allows for you to see the world and things in a different way. So this deck offers different perspective, and it is a different tarot deck, and I don't see it very much, shared. If, of course, we have so many new tarot decks, which is good. It shows our creativity, but at the same time, there are those oldies but goodies that can't be replaced, in my opinion, and this is one of them. So it has this is one of the weird cards, but it has very. It has a remedy energy in it, and which is linked to the roses and to the flowers realms, and very emotional too. And it gets, it gives us strength. This is what I feel about this deck. It allows for you to have strength. I very much love this deck. So just checking. Yeah, so when we are picking cards, intuitively, you can see like a different story and you want to keep opening it. And here, for example, you see the Justice, which is, something about changing perspective and allowing the truth to go through, allowing the truth to be revealed and deciding from your inner truth that is coming to me now, which might be a little bit different from tarot, but at the same time, it is a shift of consciousness. There is a strength also in assuming your role in this, which can bring joy, inner joy, maybe not, feeling fulfilled from a physical perspective, but it is what it has to be done. There's something about really following your heart's guidance through this deck. And also I love this bird, which allows some messages, divine messages, to come. And this fabric here, which shows me this, this that I'm using, was made by my mom. She very much loves this work. And what type of world are we creating? What type of new reality are we creating when we allow ourselves to follow our hearts? And you see these kind of bees, linked to it, and you see other flowers and fruits and so on. It's very, very creative and rich when you start doing a reading with it. Another deck that I really enjoy using is the Muse Arrow. So I I got the indie version and now I'm selling it, but it doesn't want to go. It wants to stay a little bit with me. But because I use these decks a lot, I've chosen to get the versions, the mass market versions, because I would be afraid to carry with me, the indie versions in trips or outside. So this is one that I very much really enjoy too, not only for its explosive colors and very, very fine art collage, digital collage, but it has a voice of its own. It's subtle, it's, even if the voice is screaming, kind of, it is subtle. I have to kind of, meditate a little bit on the message that is being carried. It doesn't open its doors right away. And that's what roses are about. It's like you have to be in a certain vibration so that you can listen to them and hear them properly. So there is an inner discipline that is being asked from us when we connect to this dagger to roses. A certain level of energy and vibration. Oh my gosh, I love this card. I love this card. This is this is exactly what roses are about. Community. Roses are not about ourselves. It's not self-centered. It's not like our society shows us, like, see me, see me, see me, or you are not enough, you have to do more. That all these wounds, they get to be healed, so that we focus on what we are bringing to our community, what are we bringing to the world as a gift. And yeah, so yeah, this deck is really something. But I don't use it a lot at the moment. I've got other decks that I rotate through, but when I see it, when I open it again, I'm like, yeah, I shall use it a little bit more, because it has a voice of its own. Yeah, so let's see what other decks are coming. This is a new one for me, and it's not just about roses. It's by Liz, Elizabeth Ashley. I'm going to show you one of her books, of course, Tongue of the Trees, and it's an aromatherapy oracle card. So I am not an aromatherapist, but having this deck, and the idea is not only about the cards. The companion book, let me show you, for example. The companion book is really amazing. You have the insight, you have the use, in a way, of the essential oil. And it goes to the heart of the matter. And that's the spirit of roses. And of course, it has roses in there, but it has also other plants. Roses collaborate very, very well with other plants. It's a community flower. It's the queen of the queens, but at the same time, she allows other queens to live. She is for the community. So having this deck, I'm really learning about, another perspective of the plant and the essential oil. And I learned that the flower is not like the fruit. They are kind of different spirits. And linking that aspect also of the spiritual to the physical is one of the teachings of the roses. So basically, I don't have only to connect to the roses from spiritual perspective only, or shamanic plant healing. I have also to use them on physical plane. And I will leave a link below of a conference that I just filmed for those who missed the last one. The roses are teaching me how to heal the modern diseases. And the modern diseases, like really from physical perspective, heavy metals, talking about the eyes, talking about, chronic fatigue. Some other conferences are in preparation about other modern diseases. So they are coming to heal us from many, many levels, and from different difficulties that we are living in our daily life. Anyway, talking about roses, but this is really about other plants too. So you get there you go. The Melissa. Oh, I'm receiving a book by Elizabeth about the Melissa very, very soon. And I'm translating one of her books also about the Melissa in French. I hope to get it out soon, but we have so many books coming out, so everything on its right time. Sweet basil, I love this plant too. And turmeric. I'm very much using this plant at the moment. That's why I might have like my fingers a little bit, orangey color, using it in juices. I'm into juicing, which helps me to deal with some inflammation sometimes, from the Lyme condition. Lavender, beautiful. I got to learn about, other plants that I don't use. Cardamom, also another plant that I'm using, helping very much with the digestive system. Very lovely. Tea tree, coriander, with mag. There are some plants that I really don't know much about, and I love this deck. I have some copies if you want them. I can send them to you. As I brought like I think 2 copies or so that I wanted to keep for people who are passionate about plants. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I might show you 6 decks today. Already like cheating. Of course, my deck, Shamanic Healing with Roses and Flowers. This one is already on Printer's Studio because I don't have any copies left. I'm really sorry about it, but you can order it directly from the printer website because basically, I have a lot of projects going on. But this deck also is about flowers, but I have a lot of roses. I have 24 roses in it. And the reason why I added the other plants because they present themselves in shamanic healing sessions. And they work together, as I said, but also the connection to the cosmos and the connection to the mother, the cosmic mother, is very strongly linked to the roses. And I learned also that the pony is a cousin in a way. They consider it as a cousin, for roses from a spiritual perspective. So you've got the roses family, and then you start like expanding and finding that they have friends and family, other family members contributing. Oh. Yeah. Oh, I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. Yeah. I just. It's funny because I just put out this drawing that I've done some years ago, and because I'm studying also this plant and seeing how the lily can help with some conditions. So yeah, so the plants speak to us in a very synchronistic way, and then you can find the mandalas or like channelings that come with the chakras to heal. Yeah, so cosmic roses, that's how I call them. All right, cheating big time, I'm sorry. But we have the Ophitieros Attaro. I couldn't not talk about this deck. Oh my, I mean, this deck, just opening it brings that feeling of calmness and magic and centeredness. And to be honest, I would love to get her other decks, like the Ad Orbita, I think its name. But when I wanted to order it, like it was 40 euros more to order it. So basically the price was 46, and then adding the shipping and the taxes, it was 96 euros. And I'm like, I don't know, sometimes I don't know what's happening with these shipping things. And I know I'm a creator also. I'm an oracle creator, and I work with creators. I know, and printing is expensive. That's for sure. I know about that. But the shipping and the taxes thing is just ruining us. And I really believe that if we take the decks as being books instead of being playing cards, that will be a big difference really in the taxes. These are books, these are teaching tools. They are not gaming. We are not gaming with them. We are teaching, we are doing journaling, we are drawing, they are books. They are really filled with wisdom. So they should be considered as books, even on a taxes perspective. So I hope one day that changes. We should do something about it as a community, because we love tarot decks, we love oracle decks. We have to defend our passion. And so I don't have like practical solution yet, but I'm kind of just putting it here. It might like put a seed somehow, somewhere. But that's another teaching of the roses, is to act together, is to build a new reality together, for us, but also for the next generations. So if maybe someone of you has more knowledge about the laws or things like that, or we can, I always love this kind of collaboration about printing decks in different continents. So, for example, this deck could be printed in Europe. If we have a trusted collaboration, it can be printed in Australia. And in this way, we are kind of making things easier for everyone, and allowing this work to be diffused and communicated on a bigger scale. So, yeah. All right. So you see how the teachings of the roses come. They come in everything. In everything. Yeah. All right. Let's go to the books. All right. So I told you about... I'm going to tell you something. The books are not about tarot right away. I'm telling you. This video is about roses. is about roses. And the next time it will be another theme and where maybe I wouldn't share the books, but I have a video about the best books for beginners, for example, or the best books of tarot that I suggest you see on my list. So about roses, there is this book called Rose Goddess Medicine. I loved it so much that I translated it in French and I published it by Elizabeth Ashley. And this book shares about roses, the history of roses, and the rose in aromatherapy, how it has been produced and so on, but also it shares about the facts, like really scientific facts, and that is very great to see and to read about. You can find also the magic of rose, its sacred geometry. You can find how different recipes of how to make flower essence, decoctions. I mean, this this book is really one of the best ones on roses, and it's kind of mandatory for my initiation at the Temple of Roses, because it has a lot of information, and it gives you the basis for your roses medicine practice. The next book is it's a small one, really small one, but I really enjoy it. It's called Rose Recipes from Olden Times. And the way it's the way it's made inside is quite funny and cute. And you can find so many old recipes. I mean, I know a few, but sometimes I just like open and experiment, seeing and reading some of these. Some are very easy to make, like roses water like or tincture or honey, or or other things. But some are kind of difficult to to make. But it's really lovely. You can make conserve, which is not my best thing to do, but you can have like the honey side is really my lovely one. I hate using sugar. I would hate using it, so I prefer like really honey right away. Even if you can call it marmalade or whatever you can. Vinegar of roses is also amazing. So we've got all these kind of roses recipes that you can experiment. Okay, my next one is the Story of the Roses. Let me just, here we go. This one, Story of the Rose. This book was one of the best books that I have found out there that constitutes like a resume or a summary. Yeah, a summary in English, I say, about the roses, their history, some very interesting facts, and it's very well made. Like the design is very alive. It makes reading very easy. It shows you the basics, right? So it won't be like very very furnished as if you are looking for scientific facts and things like that, but it allows you to know a bit of about the history and inspire you like some creative work with the roses. I've seen making roses water just here. It inspired me so many articles. Also, you can find many of my articles on wasimagic.com in the link below. I'm still learning, when I'm like, oh, what can I get as an inspiration for me and for others, for my community? I go and I open it and I'm just like, wow, just opening like a big bouquet of roses. Oh, you see, this lady here reminds me of Elizabeth here in Portugal. I visited her city, which is called Coimbra. I hope one day I can help people visit this town, because she transformed bread into roses, and it's one of the miracles to protect the poor. She was carrying bread, and her husband didn't want her to do that. So one day she was going out carrying that bread, and her husband was like, "What are you carrying with you? Where are you going?" She said, "I'm taking just roses." And then she opens her dress, and here you go. They're just like roses falling down. But you can find this story, which is really amazing, in many other versions. So, yeah, roses are present everywhere, aren't they? Even in movies. I did an article about one of the movies talking about the rose. I forgot its name, but you're gonna find it on my website. And the paragraph, that lonely paragraph in the whole movie, was really um, expressing the essence of what it means to be a rose. And gardens, yeah, of course, that's another thing to talk about. There are so many rosary in the world. Some of them I visited them. You can find them also on the blog. And if you have any idea about other rosary, roses gardens in the world, please leave me a note below, because I would be happy to add them on my list to travel to, or to share, their addresses. Yeah, amazing book. All right, so one last book is my own, because this is really about roses. And um, as we talked about Goddess Medicine Rose was about scientific facts, the history of roses. This one is more like the vibration of roses. And we talk about the principles that we learn at the temple, and how to integrate them in our daily lives. And also, why I'm bringing this book is a lot about spreads, which is the next question. So the next question is creative spreads. So here we have already two. So you have my temple spread. This is the one that has been inspired to me at the Temple of Roses. So you find the four directions. So you have the east, south, west, and the north. And you have like every so you can stop the camera or take a print screen about the different directions and their meaning. So I'm just leaving it here for you. Print screen. So this is the spread one, and this is the second one, which is the rose spread. So the temple spread and the rose spread. And basically, when I create them following the principle, but also the sacred geometry of roses. So sometimes when I want to go to the essence of something, I will just pick one card. Really, one card would be enough. But sometimes when I want to spread and go beyond, I will take a lot of spreads in a spiral form. That's another spread that you can do. And you will be discussing, because with roses, there is a discussion, negotiation even. It's as if you are speaking with a friend. So you are talking and you are picking one card at a time in a spiral form. So two habits. Two habits. Now, one of the habits I have is my essence, my water essence that I use quite a lot during my sessions. So I have it here, just a second. And so basically, this is my new one. It's made from jasmine and the orange rose. And I mixed in it sacred waters from around the world as I travel. So you will find the Nile water, you will find the Ozarian, you will find the sacred waters from Turkey, from France, and so on. So they are it's sacred water that I most of the time use, when I'm doing readings, especially at the Temple of Roses. And I have at the moment, I love smelling also essential oil. By the moment, I'm really using the Violetta essential oil, because I don't know, it feels like really, I don't know, it mixes well with roses. So I'm kind of, getting used to it, because most of the time I'm into roses or into trees, whether that's pine, many, many, many trees, essential oils. But this time it's very different. Another habit that I use, when I'm doing different readings in a fair or consecutive readings, is just that I purify the energy of the cards, like initiating my intention into them and dispelling the previous one. And it's really important for me to do that, because usually when you are doing readings on consecutive way, the energies get mixed, and it's important to take just a moment to breathe and focus and say, okay, let's start another one now. Then a piece of advice, I mean, what would I give you? From Rose's perspective, I would just say, really learn to see spirit in everything. Spirit is present in everything, even the cards. These cards are alive. They are alive because they come from nature, because nature is being inspired and filled in their cards and illustrations. Because of the intention of the creator, they are living beings. Sometimes we merge with them in a good way, and sometimes there is disharmony. So we have to find the good corresponding deck, whether it's Tarot or Oracle, with us, with our energy. If you choose an oracle deck or tarot deck, make sure it is expanding. It is expanding your ability to read, and it's not reducing or shrinking your ability. It is offering you multiple paths and easiness. Choose what is easy for you. Do not choose what is complicated. Trust your gifts. Trust your own way of reading. And if you compare yourself to others, you may lose your way. So do not compare yourself. Walk step by step. Trust the process and trust your practice, because every day you will get better. Every day you will get stronger in your practice and closer to your heart, because if you speak truth, that is really what people need in your readings, right? The readings are about truth for me. The Temple of Roses is about truth. So if we speak truth, whether it is in one sentence or in one word, that is what is needed. Point. So that would be the advice that I will give you. I will be coming back for sure for another video of this version, because I have, as I told you, many other ideas. So please check it out. Even if this tag is finished, for me it is just the beginning. So thank you, Kitty Bear, for this, and looking forward to hear your comments or watch more of your videos. Bye bye.